jamming.
It's good, isn't it? It's a really good one. So, everyone, thank you for joining us for a casual with the amazing, the Wolfgirl Oracle-Dali. Hello, Dolly.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. It's only taken us over a year.
I know.
I was looking at stuff and I was like, going, holy crap, that was in February of 2023.
Yeah. Well, life.
Oh, of course.
But it's a great opportunity right now because I'm out of work. So I have much more time where I can spend with my friends like you, Gerald. So that's awesome.
Aww. Can you do these magic things?
I can't. I don't know how to do that.
I'll tell you after the show. It's a secret. It's a so everybody please make sure that you like and subscribe to Dolly's channel. Links are below, and I've actually pinned it in the chat.
Thank you.
This is for entertainment purposes only. Do not make decisions based upon what we say. Seek professional assistance. Really? So
yes,
do all of that. So but yeah, and so this is an opportunity for us to get to know a little bit about Dolly. We're not doing personal readings today or anything like that. However, if you do have a question for Dolly, please put it all in capital letters so that I can see it, because that'll be a help. And so here we go. And let's say hello to, oh, wait a minute. I have a banner for this one.
Oh,
let's say hello to some of the best chatters, the best lurkers, the work lurkers, the flying lurkers, the future lurkers, the tub lurkers, the washing dishes lurkers, the walking lurkers, all of the lurkers, or the multitasking lurkers.
Hello.
Are you exhausted from
that? You did it all. I think you covered it all in that. So
I try to be as inclusive as possible. So it's all good. It's all good. And so yeah. And so I do see Beth is here. Aspasia Rising, good to see you.
Hey, Beth.
Plucky Heroine is here. Oh, painting lurking. Oh, painting the bathroom, a bedroom closet.
Oh, fun.
Are you like doing the Sistine Chapel, or is it are you doing Marshmallow or something like that?
Sistine Chapel, can you imagine?
Oh, yeah. Sun Psychic Jean is here. Hello, Jean.
Hey, Jean. Good to see you.
Great to see you. Linda Kelzer is here. Hello, Linda.
Hey, Linda.
And Nalani Hypnicity is here. Lots of lurkers.
Lots and lots.
Teresa Ford is joining us. There we go. And then the Cooker Lurker. That's good. Yes, I like that one. I like that one. So I do want to take a note there. So I'm adding that painting lurking to my list eventually. So
painting lurking.
Yeah. So Dolly, how long have you been on YouTube?
Well, now that is a question that I have to answer in two ways. Okay. On this channel, just a few years. Okay. But on my main channel, which is, what is it called? Rachel Dolly Hug. That one I've been on since the beginning of YouTube.
And how long ago was that?
17 years, something like that.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And so, and in fact, I'm looking at your channel right now. You joined July 12th of 2022, and you only have 192 subscribers. So getting you to 200 subscribers would be perfect.
That would be really a blessing.
Yes. Yeah. So please do all of the YouTube things, like, share, and subscribe, because it's free. And I actually have, I have 2 channels, and one was from a knitting blog that I did. And that's back, probably not the first year, maybe the second year of YouTube. So it's been around there for a while. So, and Rose Blue said, I didn't sleep, so y'all are my bedtime messages while I fall asleep.
I will definitely put you to sleep. So.
It came out of her mouth and not mine.
Okay, see, I've got this fan. I don't know how to flap it like you do, but see, it's a wolf.
Very nice.
Very
nice.
It's too big. I got a fan that's ridiculously large. I can't have both me and the fan in the view screen.
Does that help?
Yes, yeah. Oh, I don't know how to flap it like you do.
It.
Oh, I did it.
Go. Yes.
Okay.
The thing that I have to do is when you're looking at it, you have to decide when you put it back.
Yeah.
Note which side you're using, because that's the way you put it face out. And then you just sort of thwarp it. And I encourage it's like many people.
It's awesome now that I have it.
Yes. And I encourage everybody. I think people should thwarp fans around often, like when you're shopping, and it just adds color to what you're saying.
It does, and I feel like you should have a good face for it too. Like depending on what the situation is, of course, right? Right. Yes. That's gonna be the one. That's gonna be the one that I use the most, I think.
I love it. I'm going to put us back up like this because okay. I like, fan thwarping lessons. Yes. Yes, Teresa. She is a fast learner. Deanne, Blue Crescent Tarot, is here. Hello.
Hi.
And Deanne is the originator of the originator of the Sip Sip as I know it.
Oh, Sip Sip.
What are you drinking?
I am drinking strawberry kiwi water.
Nice.
Strawberry kiwi sparkling water.
Yes. And Teresa Ford is a truth sayer. Dolly has a nice channel. Come on over. The water is fine.
Teresa, I love you, girl. She's a good friend.
And Tom, Early Ritual, is here. Hello, Tom.
Hi, Tom.
And Linda Kelzer will be decluttering and listening.
Oh, decluttering. I love you.
You love decluttering, or you love
decluttering? Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
You should come to my house.
This room is not a good example because this is my sacred space. So everything in here I consider sacred.
Has to have a purpose.
But it's a 9x9 room, so it's not very big. So this room doesn't represent my decluttering needs the way.
So are you one of those people who, if you haven't used it in 6 months, it's gone?
I'm trying to be. I'm trying to be that person. Yeah.
Okay.
And this is something that cost me a lot of money, and I'm like, I cannot buy this again,
Yeah.
But I try to get rid of stuff because I've been in this house here, or maybe this would be good for, I'll wait till you ask me the first question, because that might be good. The story that I have might be good for for your first question. So.
Okay. Well, Jonathan Daly is drive lurking.
Drive lurking. All right.
Drive lurking. All of the lurking.
Be careful. Yeah.
And thwarping. Autocorrect was incorrect. That's okay. It's all good. A-Dub said, Gerald, I think I was blocked from your channel for some reason. Now you show up again. I didn't do it, A-Dub. It's always good to see you. And Jen Bowles is here.
Jen is Wisconsinite as well.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, sorry. Oh, great. That would have been a fan thwarp worthy moment.
Okay, that was really ineffective. Oh my gosh. Okay.
That's all right. It comes with time.
Yeah.
It comes with time. So, okay. So I do have a list of questions for Dolly. Yeah. And we're going to start with, what's your origin story?
Okay. Well, I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
And I've lived here my whole life.
Wow. Okay.
The house that I live in, I bought from my grandmother. And I spent a considerable amount of time in this house as a child. And now I own the house. I bought the house back in 1997. Nice. And I've lived here ever since. So that's what I was going to mention. The whole thing with decluttering, when you've lived in the same place for I've been here 33, 34 years.
Mm-hmm.
You tend to accumulate a lot of stuff. Uh-huh. So
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
trying desperately to unload, realizing I'm getting closer to, I'm 55. I'm getting closer and closer to retirement. I don't want to have to do all this when I'm older. So I'm trying to take care of it
yeah.
now.
I completely understand.
Mhm.
Sherry, Voices from the Swamp, is here.
Hey!
And
Hey!
yeah, Jen is in West Bend.
Yeah, she's just north of me by about 40 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
We got to meet up one day, girl. Just go get coffee or something. It'll be fun.
that's cool. And and Rose Blue said, I have a box full of sports cards and original truck parts. You can't sell those.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Tom is work lurking.
Work lurking.
And this is Zane, Tarot Token Witchery. Good to see you, Zane. So, and Teresa Ford says, I craft and read and sigh, have all the things. So, Teresa, you don't have all the things because I have all the other things. So,
I've got some things.
Yes, this is not an overachieving thing. So continue to tell. Okay, so you've grown up and you live in the same place.
Yes.
And so, what else would you like to share before I ask you your the other question?
Okay. Well, something that a little known thing about me is I used to work in television.
Okay.
I worked for the Milwaukee PBS station.
Love me some.
Well,
PBS.
actually, the two Milwaukee PBS stations.
Mm-hmm.
And I did editing, I did camera operating, I did makeup, lighting.
Mm-hmm.
I worked on all the shows that we did locally, plus a few international and national shows, and a couple of things that went international. So I have a background in television.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. That's great. So, and I'm sitting here, I'm like, as I'm looking at my background with a person who used to be in television, I'm like going, oh, I'm doing all of the things that one should not do.
No, that's not true. There are no rules.
Yes, that's right. There are no rules. So,
I mean, there are rules with lighting. Okay, there are
Yes.
rules with lighting, but your lighting looks great, so don't worry about it.
Thanks. I could do this and then, you not see me, or I could put it behind me. That's all, I always like the behind the light. Yeah. Anyhow.
Look angelic.
Yes. Well, I don't have to look angelic. I am angelic. And by the way, my angel wings are over there. So,
My halo is tarnished.
My halo is fine. The devil horns are keeping it up.
Yes. I was just gonna say I've got some. Well, mine are more like stag antlers that are holding it up.
True. And Plucky says, I love PBS.
Yay!
Yep.
PBS is awesome.
Yep.
It was a great experience, and I could only do it between 19 years old and 24 years old, because it takes a tremendous amount of energy, and you never sleep. And I was living on Diet Coke and cigarettes at the time, so I was 120 pounds, and it was a crazy time in my life. But I'm so grateful that I had the opportunity to do that, because I use editing skills, lighting skills. I have for the entirety of my working career on all the jobs that I did, from learning how to speak in front of people to learning how to do lighting, editing, all that stuff. I use it all the time.
Yes.
So
of course.
I'm very grateful, very, very grateful for my time at PBS.
I love that. And Coyote is here. Hi, Coyote.
Hey, Coyote.
Hi, Coyote. Of course, I can't pronounce Coyote's name properly.
Rosenbaum?
So, no, yeah. Anyhow. Here you go. Sunseeker is here. Hello, Sunseeker. Good to see you. So, okay. Anything else you want to share about your origin story? No pressure.
I don't know what else I could tell you. I'm from Milwaukee. I was born.
You were born. I was born too.
You were born too. We have something in common.
Yes. Oh my God. And I bet everybody who's watching was born.
Yes.
I mean, I love that. Hi, Teresa. So, oh my gosh. And Rossi is here. Good to see you. All right. So the next question is tell us about your spiritual path.
I think I probably have a spiritual path that is a lot like everyone's spiritual path that is in the spiritual community, you know.
Okay.
Or maybe not, but I started off in as a Christian, and I was a Christian for,
Okay.
many years,
Mm-hmm.
into my 30s.
Mm-hmm.
But at 18 I left the church.
All right.
And I left the church because I felt like I wasn't wanted or accepted by
Mm-hmm.
the church, so I left.
Okay.
But I tried going back a few times and really tried, but I've always had I've always had a connection to the spirit world.
Okay.
One of my earliest memories was when I was a really little girl. I was still in the crib, and I saw a person outside of my crib that was not my mom or dad, and I have a very distinct memory of this. I think it was my great grandmother,
Okay.
because I just think either my young mind made it into my great grandmother, or it really
Sure.
was my great grandmother. So, but
Uh-huh.
I've had this deep connection with what's on the other side my whole life. My whole
Mm-hmm.
life. When I was 7.5 years old, I was up in my room. I was playing with my little Fisher Price record player,
Oh, yes, I remember that.
and my grandpa walked into my bedroom, sat down on my bed, and he's like, "Rachel, I just came by to say goodbye to you. You're not going to see me anymore, and I just wanted you to know that I'm okay." And I just looked at him. I mean, even at 7.5 years old, I had enough understanding of what was going on with him
Uh-huh.
to know that this was really weird, because my grandfather had had a stroke. He couldn't talk, and he was in a nursing home.
Oh,
So
wow.
the
Okay.
fact that he just walked into my room, I was just my little head was just trying to put it all together, and he got up and he left.
Uh-huh.
And after a few minutes of just thinking about it, I went downstairs to talk to my mom and my grandma from the other side of the family, about what just happened. And my mom was on the phone with the nursing home, who had called to just say that my grandfather had passed.
Wow.
So when she got off the phone, I said, "He can't be dead. He was just here. He was in my room."
Mm-hmm.
And my mom grabbed me by the shoulders and like shook me. And my mom is not a violent person. My mom is the
Yeah.
sweetest angel of a
Yeah.
mother. Okay. But she shook me and she said, "Don't lie. He was not here. Don't ever talk about that."
Oh,
And it
yeah.
was a real scary, it was very scary for me in my little 7-year-old mind
Of
to have my
course.
mom
Yeah.
react like that. So I feel like I spent a lot of time suppressing a lot of stuff for a lot of
Mm-hmm.
years, you
Yeah.
know. But after I
Yeah.
left the church, I started looking at other things. I started
Mm-hmm.
looking at Buddhism. I started looking at
Uh-huh.
all the Abraham faiths,
Uh-huh.
Islam and Judaism and the Kabbalah, and I just
Mm-hmm.
took a deep dive into lots of other different religions.
Of course. Yeah. Uh-huh.
And when I settled into Buddhism, because I practiced as a Buddhist for 3.5 years, when I settled into Buddhism, I went in like big dive, big, almost evangelical, you know.
So, okay, so just to be clear, you went in at full force. You totally embraced it, and you went in as an overachiever because you were going to get the complete enlightenment like really quickly.
Enlightenment now. Yes, that's
Yes,
exactly what I went in like.
I completely understand that. I'm teasing because I have done the same thing.
Yeah, with Buddhism.
I am actually involved with some Zen Buddhist book discussions. So yes.
Yeah, Zen Buddhism was my Buddhist flavor,
Yeah.
so to speak. I joined a Korean Zen school. It was amazing. That time in my life was amazing. It changed me so much.
Oh
Um,
yeah. Oh yeah.
I read the book. Comfortable with Uncertainty by Pema Chodron.
Mm-hmm.
And I highly recommend that book to anybody who is like, especially right now as we're going through all these crazy uncertain times.
This is the one we're reading now.
Welcoming the Unwelcome is a great book. Yes, that is an amazing book. And if you've never read Comfortable with Uncertain, pick it up and read it.
Mm-hmm.
You will come away from that book. If you'll come away from that book changed in some way.
Sure.
It really changed me. Okay. But while I was at the Zen Center, I took on the job of custodian.
Okay.
So I would go in an hour before meditation would begin, and I went to every meditation session. Okay. So I was there 5 days a week. I'd go in beforehand. I would clean our meditation room. I'd clean our library, the bathroom, etc. So I was there, and I was like, I just had gotten done mopping and waxing the meditation room. And as I was walking into the next room, which was the library, I saw an old woman walking from the left to the right towards the bathroom.
Uh-huh.
And there's like no door back there. So I was like, how did she get in here? So I kind of chased after her and was like, ma'am, can I help you? Can I help you? And she was gone.
Mm-hmm.
Checked the bathroom, checked there were two like conference rooms in the back. I checked them.
Yeah.
She was gone. So later on that night, we had our meditation session. Afterwards, we would always hang out in the library and talk a little bit before we would all leave. And I went up to my Dharma teacher and I said, I had a weird experience this evening. And she's like, did you see the old lady? Oh. And I'm like, you could have told me. You could have told me that this happens. I'm like, is it a ghost? She's like, we're not sure what that is. We're not sure, but we've all seen her. We've all seen her. And I'm like, well, it was like she was looking through me. It was like she didn't see me,
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah. She's like, I kind of think that maybe we're peering into the past. Something keeps replaying over and over and over.
Interesting. Okay.
So again, this was another like full-blown, full-body ghost experience for me. And these kinds of things have happened to me over and over and over and over and over again in my life. And so finally, I had just a couple of years ago, really, I had mentioned this to Katie Moonchild. I started talking to her. I'm like,
who is here, by the way? Katie
is here. Oh, yes. My sweet sister.
So, okay, I'm going to press pause for a second because I'm going to say Katie is here.
Yes.
Nancy, a Crohn's Intuition, is joined us.
Nancy.
Lottie B, Hugs from Spirit, is here.
Lottie.
Susan Funes is here.
Hi, Susan.
Fatima is here. And Care Bear, Bard of Cards, is here. So there you go. And if I've missed anyone, my apologies. So
you have a really, really beautiful group of people that come to you. I mean, all these people are amazing people.
I am so fortunate. So fortunate. And the fact, and I like the variety that comes, because that variety is the spice of life. Because I'd like to create a space where where we can learn things, lift our spirits, laugh together about what we're learning, and get some readings. So, and by the way, everybody, please like and subscribe to Dali's channel. And it's linked below. It's also in the description. It would be really nice if Dali could get the 7 more subscribers to get to 200.
Oh, that would be great. But please only subscribe if after watching this you feel like, hey, she's my jam. She's somebody who I'd like to like.
Oh, of course.
Yes. I don't want anybody to.
This is no pressure, everybody.
Right.
We just want you to know. So okay. So 2 years ago.
So I was talking to Katie, and Katie said, I think you might be a medium. And at this time too, I had just taken the plunge into paganism, into Norse paganism.
Okay.
I had this strong call from my ancestors to like seek this out. I am a meditator. I started meditating as a Buddhist. I meditate daily, and I had just started doing ancestor veneration. on my own without any instruction on how to do it, which I then got. So it's a lot better now. But I had just started that, and she's like, I think you might be a medium. I think this is something that you should look into. And her and I just started having lots and lots of deep spiritual discussions. She is absolutely the single most instrumental person in my path as it is today, is Katie. So thank you, Katie. I love you, dear. I love you. I love you.
Katie is wonderful.
She is wonderful, and she really has helped me. She is a really, really good friend.
Yeah,
I call her my sister. Yeah.
Aww. And that's great. And Mousy is here as well.
Hi.
Eba is here. And Amanda said Dolly was my nickname growing up through high school. My mom still calls me Dolly.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay, so are you a medium?
I am. I definitely am. And it took me a long time to admit that out loud and to embrace that about myself. But once I did, I also had to learn how to protect myself. I had to learn.
Yes.
I had to learn how to put out boundaries, and it's not something that anybody should seek out. I'm gonna say it like that. It might sound like that would be a really wonderful gift to have, and for the most part, it is a wonderful gift. But it is really something that you got to do your research on. You have to learn how to protect yourself, because if you don't, you will suffer greatly. And I did a lot before I knew what I was doing, and that did cause me problems. It caused me problems with my family, with this house. And so, if you think that you might be a medium, research how to protect yourself before you try anything, so that you're okay. So that you don't end up with knives flying around your house, or,
And, and here I am for entertainment purposes only. Do your research, people.
Do your research.
And Sunseeker says, count me in to subscribe to Dolly today.
Oh, Sun, thank you.
And Deanne said 196, so subscriber 196. So
that's so nice. Thank you.
And Tortoiseshell Moon Kathy said, hello, big love to all. I'm experiencing tech difficulties with my internet. I'll definitely subscribe when I'm sorted.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you,
I love it. I love it.
Oh, you guys.
So, and yeah.
You're going to make me cry. Stop it.
So,
no, don't.
Oh, yeah. Make her cry. I'll put her on the big screen, everybody. Do it. Yeah, yes.
Name here.
So, so you were talking about a couple of things that you pointed out that I'm curious about is when you say ancestor adoration or ancestor honoring.
Veneration.
Veneration. Thank you. What do you mean by that?
Well, what I do is I do a series of things. Okay, well, first of all, I have an ancestor altar. So basically my dearly departed loved ones that both I knew and didn't know, because they were born and gone before I was even born. As much of that as I could gather, I put in one place and created an altar space for them, or a shrine would probably be a better idea, or a better word. And so that it started with just as a remembrance of these people. I'm the byproduct of all that, and I'm incredibly grateful for the sacrifices and things that they've made.
Right.
So I started that shrine. I also I do a trance meditation where I've created a space that I go to. It's a world between worlds kind of situation where I can go to commune with my ancestors. And that took a long time to become effective. Okay. But now I'm at the point where I can sit down on my cushion. I can go to this place and I can have a conversation with my grandmother or my great grandmother or my great grandfather. Yeah. And glean their wisdom, And I am not a clairaudient. I don't hear voices. I'm clairvoyant, clairsentient, clairempathic, claircognizant, and what's the one where you smell? Claire.
Salient.
Salient. Thank you. Yes. So I have all that. So that's how I gather my information in. So I've never heard my grandmother's voice or my father's voice or anything.
Right.
I feel I feel the intention coming off of them and understand, if that makes sense. And that's how I do readings too. When I'm doing readings, I often get just flashes of imagery along with sight, smells, and just general feelings. Sure. And over time, I'm getting, with time, I'm not an expert. I am not an expert. This is still a learning process for me, so I am getting to know my spirit guides better and better and better, and what they bring to me and how they give it to me, with tarot and oracle being my tools.
Sure. So, this may be a conversation for a different time, because I think it would be a great conversation to have with several people. You would be included in that. Is that idea of ancestor altars and what that could be? Because I'm curious of what's on it. And you don't have to share that. We can tease people and we'll do it later. But
well, I can give you a general idea. I gathered as many pictures as I could find.
Yes.
So to represent them. And for ones I didn't have pictures for, I sought out through places like Ancestry.com and the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. I found their obituaries.
Yes.
A brief synopsis of their life, and added that to it. I have candles. I have little objects.
Yep.
From some of the people who have passed, watches and jewelry and little objects, just little objects that belong to them that I was able to get a hold of that are also over there. So I really just put, whenever I find something that either belonged to them or reminds me of them, it gets added to their little altar. It's a lot like the Day of the Dead altars that Hispanic people.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. And thank you very much for sharing. I think, I would be curious as if people in the chat or who are watching this back, if they think the topic of an ancestor altar is a good one, because I'd be happy to host that. So if you think that, say yes in chat, leave a comment, let me know.
I certainly would be. I'd love to talk about it.
And this just in, I am refreshing your channel. You have 203 subscribers.
Oh, thank you, guys.
Thank you, everybody.
Wow, thank you. I am so grateful. Thank you.
And
thank you. I'm gonna grab some of those hearts wait, there we
go. We need balloons and we need confetti. So there we go.
Wow.
And okay. So I asked that question, and of course the best chatters are yes. I like the idea. Yes. Be interested in that. Okay, I will add that to the list of possible things.
Yeah, I mean, with Karen in there, Care Bear, she does really amazing poetry. You might want to write a poem for each one of your ancestors that you felt connected to, and put that on the altar. You can take any one of your gifts and use them for that kind of thing. So I'm glad that you're interested in that. It's very big. I'd have to say that out of my pagan practice, that's probably my biggest. It's the thing that I do the most out of I behind me I have Eir. You see, she is Eir is the goddess of healing in Norse mythology or Norse paganism. That is for Fatima, for her and her husband right now. But I do a lot of that. I do a lot of healing rituals, and I talk to the gods, of course, and I incorporate all kinds of gods into my pantheon. It's not just Norse gods. There's all kinds of gods mixed in there. So
by the way, in case you don't know, this is Kaylee, Woo Woo Wonderment, also known as Fogo Pogo. Hi. Kaylee, this is Dali, Wolfgirl Oracle. I am encouraging everybody to like and subscribe to their channel. And Chris Elemental Cartomancy has come in. Hello Chris. Chris, Dolly, Chris.
Hi, good to meet you.
if you ever want to have an experience and have somebody with a Scottish accent read for you, Chris does roundtable readings, which are great.
Ooh, I love the Scottish accent.
Right. Well, he's Scottish. That's what, he doesn't have an accent. He's Scottish, but he has,
I got you. I'm the one with the accent, don't you know?
Don't you know? Don't you know? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you betcha.
I am from Ohio, so Ohio is the accent that they tell actors when you don't want an accent. That's what you want to sound like. You want to sound like you're from Ohio.
Nondescript. Yes.
Nondescript. Did you just call me nondescript?
It's nondescript. That's what it's called. Nondescript. Oh, now, girl. Please.
You got it backwards.
Oh, dang it.
Okay. So I will plan something about ancestor altars, because in my study, in my practice, Samhain is in my witchy practice, Samhain is the time where we honor the ancestors. So we do have an ancestor altar. I also learned about Bobada from the Santeria and Lakumi practice, where you honor your ancestors. So and yeah, $2 squeaky cheese and CA.
Yadere. She wanted to say Yadere.
Yadere. Okay. So what does it mean to be a Norse pagan? Norse paganism.
Norse pagans follow the old gods of the Northmen. So Odin, Thor, Tyr, Freya, Freyr, those gods. And it's also very much a nature-based, because we also venerate the Landvatir and the Husvatir, which are the spirits of the land and the spirits of your home.
Sure.
It's very much a nature-based, polytheistic type of faith.
Okay.
For me personally, being a Norse pagan, I look at the gods and I see all different kinds of aspects of humanity in their stories. And so it's a source of wisdom. It's very much, we always say Norse pagan is the faith of study, because there's so much done with studying the sagas and studying like everything that's ever been written about the stories of the Norse. And but first and foremost, it's very much a be out in nature and allow nature to show you the divine in everything.
Right.
It's very animist, comparatively to a lot of different pagan religions. But yeah, so that's what it means. And we are not. Now, Norse paganism has gotten a bad rap because so many white supremacists have adopted a lot of the symbols and the words. Yeah, they've appropriated all of those things out of Norse paganism. And but that is not. I belong to a group called the Fellowship of Northern Traditions. It's an amazing group. It is armed wide open. It doesn't matter where you're from or what you look like or who you love. It's as long as you're there to be respectful and honor nature, you're drawn in. So many people in our group not only celebrate things from the Norse pagan, but they also celebrate Celtic and Native American and Asian, Northern African. So there's a lot mixed into our group. That's why we're the Fellowship of Northern Traditions.
Chris says, Elemental Cartomancy, I'm a mythology nerd. This live equals my happy place.
Oh, that's awesome. I do too. I love all things mythology, and I think that's why it was so easy for me to make the leap into starting to see the gods as something that are actually tangible, something that can actually be connected with.
Okay, and I want to actually say, when you say gods, you're thinking of deity, both male and feminine, masculine and feminine, and nondescript. So
Yeah,
that's
no,
okay.
yeah, Lord and Lady for sure. Yes.
Okay. Well, I just because there are some people who when I just wanted to verify. It's just like when you completely mean deity in all its forms.
Correct.
So okay.
Correct.
And
Yes.
hi, Majestic Oracle. Good to see you. And Chris says, this reminds me of what Amanat said about life, or about Ifa and the Orisha, about respecting nature.
Nature. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. 100%.
Absolutely. And by the way, Michelle Marie, Astrological Tarot, is here, as well as I'm imagining Jonathan is watching. So hello. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for coming, you guys. That's awesome.
So
yeah, I'm sorry that I'm not interacting with the chat more. I'm too busy going bah, 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 bah.
and we'll give you another 30 minutes to keep doing that, because this is perfect.
Okay. All right. Awesome.
This is perfect. And so okay, so how long, I mean, is there okay, so you belong to, what's the name of
It's called the Fellowship of Northern Traditions.
Okay.
They have it's I think it's northernfellowship.org is the website, but if you look up Fellowship of Northern Traditions, you'll find it. But we are an international group. We are not specifically just for the United States. We have chapters all over the world. So we're a relatively big group, and we get together and we try to celebrate the seasons, and the equinoxes and the solstices and Yule.
Oh yeah.
But and we keep contact with one another on the daily basis through Discord, which that's like the wonderful thing about living right now is there's all these amazing tools there for us to use. You should make a Discord. You totally should make a Discord. Then your subscribers could talk to each other all the time. So you and I could talk about that. I can help you with that.
we could. Candy Soul and Soil is here, and Pamela Batchelor is also a mythology nerd. Yay, and good. Jane the Seeker has some wonderful advice. You can watch the playback with the chat, Dolly.
Yes, so I will. I will definitely do that.
But yeah, I love this chat. I mean, this is great. And Deanne Blue Crescent Tarot typed in the northerntraditions.org.
Thank you. Rock on. Thank you so much for doing that.
So yeah. And
thank you. That's what it is, northerntraditions.org.
So,
and if you peer through all the pictures, you'll probably see me in there a few times. in my ritual wear. So
okay. And now I have to ask, what is your ritual wear?
I wear, well, I have one thing right here handy I can show you. This is my crown that I wear. And then I wear like a traditional, it looks like a Viking dress.
Wait a minute. I'm gonna be that guy.
Okay.
You're wearing a dress?
I do for ritual. I do. I put on dresses.
I put on dresses too when the time is right. So yeah. Yes, and Jane the Seeker has brought up, there are so many people watching. Hi to all.
Yeah, hi.
And Dolly, I don't know if you can see this right now. We have 40 people who are watching and getting introduced to you.
Wow.
So, so there you go. And Coyote just subscribed.
Oh, thank you so much, Coyote.
And thank you, Michelle Marie. We appreciate the warm reception. The Wolfgirl Oracle is an excellent handle and a fitting name for a deck.
Right.
You're gonna make that happen?
I have been toying with it. I've been talking to Katie about this for like over a year now. So, she's created her own deck, which is really outstanding. So I'm like, I could do that, So I have ideas already on a big Excel spreadsheet because I'm old school like that. I still use Excel, so someday. I
use these. This is Dolly.
Oh no.
This is the stuff I have for the channel. I totally, I'm calling you an overachiever because I am one. So, and anyhow,
I'm organized. I can't help it.
there's nothing wrong with being organized. When you actually, what they say is when creatives are organized, it helps increase their creativity and their output. It's so true.
Yeah, that I have to give to Katie too. I mean, she's helped me so much with so many things. I can't say enough good things about Katie Moonchild. Subscribe to Katie Moonchild's World too, guys, by the way.
There you go.
There's my friend. Yep, she's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I wear this crown. I have a couple different typical Viking dresses, like if you were watching the show Vikings, that kind of thing.
Okay.
But I also have like lots of different. I'm a Ren Fair nerd as well. Okay, so I have all different kinds of dresses and pirate wear and stuff like that.
It's fun.
I just mix and match and take it, and whatever I'm feeling, whatever. A lot depends on the god that we're venerating too at the time.
It does. It does. You know? Yes.
So how I'm presenting myself to the gods is like dependent on that. So, but it's fun. It's fun.
Yes.
Yeah. And it really does help the ambiance, you know.
Of course. Would you think less of me if you heard me say I've never been to a Ren Fair?
No, I won't think less of you, but I think you'd really enjoy it.
Okay.
Well, I think
I'm convinced. Okay, thanks.
There's lots of cool gems and necklaces, and if you like stuff like that, if you like to wear your faith, you know, or wear what you're feeling, there's a lot of great stuff at Ren Fair. The shopping just makes it worth it. Well, you could get tights.
I already have my Megan's. So
okay. You could wear those there.
So there you go. So okay, so you've so I'm curious more about your spiritual path, and so you've gotten this ancestor veneration. You are enjoying the Norse paganism. What's the Dali spin on putting those all together?
And you know what? I'm mixing a lot of things in too. I also mix my Buddhist practices in. I don't think I could have been an effective pagan had I not started with Buddhism.
Oh, I like that. Say more.
Buddhism changed how I saw everything. Buddhism changed how I saw everything. I went from, you know, and I do not want to knock Christianity, because I believe that path, whatever path you're on right now is exactly where you should be. And we get little puzzle pieces of truth from all these different things that we encounter along the way. Right?
I am a firm believer in that. I fully support that.
Like I just bought, I bought the deck, the Saints deck. You know how you were promoting the author of the Saints deck? You know what?
You mean the secrets of, you know, that
one,
mystical terror of the saints? Yes.
I got that. I bought that deck, and I really don't have any kind of like serious connection to Christianity anymore. But I wanted that deck. As I was watching you guys go through the cards, I was like, I gotta have this.
Yes.
You know, the divine feminine in that is just incredible. And there, who doesn't like St. Francis? I mean, come on. He loves animals, you know?
Yeah. Purple Elephant Deb H is here and says, I totally agree about Buddhism opening a different way of thinking and looking at things.
Yes, that's a good way of putting it, Deb. And that's exactly what it did. It changed me out of this mentality of guilt and fear, and it put me into a mentality of what is real and what is true and what is true.
Yep. Yeah. And I was just using that in readings today that I did with Jane the Seeker and Nancy Acrone's Intuition, because there are certain cards when I look at it, is just like, okay, what if this is actually real? You need to calm down and go, what is real?
Yes.
What is real and what's in your mind?
Right. And that was like the biggest thing that I got out of Buddhism was learning how to see my mind, learning that not every thought is reality.
Mm-hmm.
And Zen Buddhism really takes you through that. It really, through the koans that you do,
Mm-hmm.
you really start to learn how to see your mind, and you learn how
Uh-huh.
mindfulness in action is like really the whole philosophy behind Zen Buddhism. You
Yep.
know, it's more of a philosophy than a religion, honestly.
It is, because you can have Christian Buddhist
Yes.
and all that stuff. So
Yes.
I think, we were talking a little bit backstage, and the idea of is we are a conglomeration of our experiences and our
Yes.
studies.
Yes.
I think we have most, personally, this is Tarot Stash approved, we have the most power when we take that which is appropriate for what we want to do.
Yes. Yes.
So,
Yes. And I feel like that's why I'm saying, yeah, there's truths in everything. You know, um, when Jesus walked this earth, the kindness that he showed, the thing about Jesus that like makes me go, he's got to be a little bit of part of my pantheon, okay,
mhm,
is the fact that he saw human beings as humans first, and
yeah,
everything else was second to that. And
mhm,
that's something that I have taken with me as, you know, the Jesus part that I brought with me when I went to Buddhism. And then I studied
yeah,
Buddhism for a while. And although that wasn't the path that I decided to stay on, I
mhm,
took so much of that with
of
me. I took
course,
it all with me into paganism.
yeah,
And you know, now I am a fantastic meditator, and meditating in trance I learned because of Buddhism, and because I
sure,
can do that, because I can trance and I can talk to my ancestors and I can talk to the gods. I'm a more effective pagan because of Buddhism, you know.
mhm,
And I know that there's a lot of people who really struggle when they join any kind of paganistic group, because they're trying to weigh out, well, okay, well, this is what I did in Christianity. Now, how do I do I apply those same things here? You know, am I praying the same way? Am I supposed to be like standing before these idols and praying to them the same way that I prayed to Jesus? You know,
yeah,
whereas, but when you let go and you use, and Buddhism for me, that middle ground kind of, it made me more in control of everything that's happening in my life. You know, I learned about intention, and I learned about manifestation,
mhm,
all through this thing that I put together, that is this, you know, I used to call myself Episcopalian Buddhist, but now, you know, it's more really something more Buddhist pagan. But
I'm just going to call you the Wolfgirl Oracle-Dali. That's what I'm going to, because I think, there are a lot of people who are sharing their experiences in chat. Some of the best chatters are really sharing things, and Kathleen G is here, and Hypnosis, like, I believe every religion has something we can learn from.
yes, yes,
And, it's this, it's so, it's, it's not just a pick and choose what's convenient.
right,
It's a pick, understand what the tool is, and then have it to be available for you
yes,
in your toolbox.
yes. That's like the best way I've ever heard it put.
So,
Yes, that's
but
exactly right. Yes,
yeah,
it all becomes tools in your toolbox.
yes.
Yes,
And Beth says, I call myself a pegaboo.
peekaboo.
and
I love that.
and yeah, and what resonates. And here's the
Right,
thing.
right. What?
It's, I am also, and this is Gerald, is it resonates for some reason. Does it resonate like gee, that sounds really right, or this doesn't sound right for me? I'm also the person who, I get curious. If I don't like something, I go, okay, what is it about this that I don't like,
Mhm.
so that I can be informed? Because here you go, Kathleen G. I call myself a believer.
That's like, that sums it up so. Oh,
Fanthwarp. Can you make it thwarp?
if it wasn't the size of my entire body, it would be much. I shouldn't have gotten such a big one.
And Katie calls himself a seeker.
Yes.
And so I think
Yes,
part of it
it
is I think there's I think looking at different things, I think every spiritual path can help people have an understanding of what they are experiencing and why, and how to work with that experience or to make it different. So and I think I think it's important. And this idea of positive, negative, light and dark, light and shadow, all that stuff. It Let's just go back to paying attention to um, nature.
Mm-hmm.
um, there's sunlight, and then there's darkness. There's sunlight and moonlight. What does that work? So
Right, right. And you know what's interesting about Norse paganism too? In Norse paganism, the sun is the female and the
mhm,
moon is the male.
yes.
So it's kind of completely opposite of what I've always felt about the sun and the moon. So for a long time that really, now I feel like they're both androgynous, and that there's different
Yeah.
aspects of the moon and the sun that shine to us when we need them to. So
Mhm.
sometimes I do feel a very deeply feminine feel from the moon, and sometimes it is a more masculine
Yes.
feel. So I feel like
Yeah.
they're deities, so there really isn't a sex applied to them, so to
Yeah.
speak. But
Well, let's just get out of the binary world, however. I
right,
mean,
yes, completely. Yeah, they're
yeah,
non-binary
yeah.
completely.
Well, and I heard that recently from Amy, the Mystic Rose Tarot, was talking to an astrologer who thought the sun was more feminine than masculine, because in the days of primal species, it was the feminine, the female, who was out and gathering in the sunlight so that they could survive.
Right,
Really interesting. Yeah.
there's a nurturing feel to the sun.
Yes,
There's a
absolutely.
it wraps you in warmth, and um it, there's especially like when you think about like Norse pagans and their origins. Okay, they all came out, all of these Germanic tribes and Slavic tribes came out of the Russian steppes, right? So they came out of a place that was really dark a lot of the year. And
Hmm.
so, and a lot of them started off as matriarchal tribes, not patriarchal tribes, and so there was a different feel for the sun. The sun was seen as a leader, a nurturer, wise. All these things that we sometimes attribute to the divine feminine. So for me, it makes sense that the sun is sort of the female, more of a feminine feel to it.
Hmm.
And the moon was super important too, because it was the hunter's moon, right? It
Yes.
was the light that a lot of times hunter gatherers hunted by. So it was important to the masculine feel of the thing. I'm really a nerd when it comes to things like the origins of
Uh
humanity and how humanity spread across the planet.
huh.
I'm a language nerd. I love learning about different languages. I love making maps that show the migration of people and the migration of language and
Hmm.
DNA changes. I
Yes.
love that stuff.
Have you ever overlaid those things with some of the myths?
A little bit, yes.
Because what you're saying reminds me of part of how Chris, Elemental Cartomancy, thinks. Likes the story and the understanding. And I would just be curious to see if you've done that.
I've done that with Tyr, with the god Tyr.
Okay.
So Tyr originally started off as Tiwaz,
Yes.
and Zeus started off as Ziwaz.
Hmm.
And Zeus and Tyr were at one time the same god.
Yes.
They were the same god. They were the sky god. Tyr was seen. The aspects of Tyr and the aspects of Zeus are very, very similar. Some people think it's Odin, but it's not. It's Tyr. Tyr and Zeus are the same god. And then you've got Perun, which is the god who you see like in more of like Poland and Estonia and Latvia, Finland. Perun is also like Zeus and like Tiwaz. And
Yeah.
there was a time where there was a big consonant shift. T's became D's. And you could see exactly where that happened.
Oh, yeah.
It ended up in Greece because that was pre-consonant shift. So that's why Zeus, which was Deus,
I love this.
D-U-E-S,
Yep.
right? So, and Norse paganism is younger comparatively to Greek. So there's these shifts, but that's why the gods and goddesses are very similar. You know, these ancient people had such a deep connection with the land.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I mean,
oh my gosh,
they only survived if they paid attention to the land.
Yes.
So,
yes.
And okay, by the way, Vanessa has arrived. Hello, Vanessa.
Hello, Vanessa.
And Ramon Moonscarab is here. Hello.
Hello.
Ramon Dolly, please like and subscribe. And Michelle Marie said the sun represents our vitality in Vedic astrology. The strength of our sun reveals a lot about our health, self-esteem, and the relationship with the more masculine parent in our lives.
Okay. I can see that. I can see that.
You learn something new there. That's awesome.
That's super cool. I love stuff like that.
Yeah. So, well, and I don't know about you all, but I enjoyed watching Dolly radiate about this beautiful geekness of I love this. I love this. I love this. So, and here you go. Ramon, subscribed. Very interesting topic.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
So, but yeah. Okay, so we are just over an hour, and what divination tools do you use?
I use,
and then you can show us your first one if you want.
Okay, all right. I use Oracle and tarot cards. Those are my tools of choice. I am finding more and more as I progress through this, though, that I'm needing the tools less and less. I get a lot of
nice
downloads. I have to learn how to control when these downloads are happening.
Okay.
That might be something that if anybody has any ideas about that, I would really appreciate it, because sometimes it happens at night and I can deal with that. But if it's happening during the day when I'm trying to work or I'm driving or something, that can be very, very distractive. So
yes, I'm
trying to learn how do I control when these downloads happen, because it's a little weird. But anyways, I digress. I use tarot. I use Oracle. My very first deck. Okay, there's a story that goes along with this. All right.
I love this. I
was at a conference that had nothing to do with anything spiritual.
I love this already.
It was a comic book convention. And I met Mary Hanson Roberts. She was the guest of honor that year at the conference. And so I went to her panel. And she was there talking about all of her artwork.
Yes.
But she had mentioned that she had done a tarot deck. And I was like, oh, a tarot deck. And I'm like, oh, I don't know if I want to delve into that, though. I grew up believing tarot was evil. Okay. Yes. So I'm like, ooh, I'm really conflicted. I'm going to buy it. So I went and bought it. And
I love it. Ooh, I'm conflicted. I'm going to buy it.
Whatever. Yeah. So I went and bought it. So it was the Mary Hanson Roberts deck, and her art is very sweet. It's very sweet, and that's what I really attracted me to it, was just the sweetness of it. I like the lines and the colors that she uses. And the thing, though, that really pushed me over the edge and made me go, yeah, this is the deck that I want, was from a story she told us about how, now she was an older woman. She was in high school during the time when people were wearing poodle skirts and such. And so she was in home ec class, and she had to make a poodle skirt. But she, being the rebel that she was, decided she was going to do a dragon skirt instead of a poodle skirt. And I went, I love this lady.
I like that. Yes.
So I was like, all right, so that's what really pushed me. So this deck I've had in my possession, and this was in, 1996, I believe it was that I got 96 or 97 that I got this deck. It might have been later than that, but I think it was 96 or 97. And so that was my first tarot deck. And that's when I bought this book and started learning tarot. Tarot, A New Handbook for the Apprentice by Eileen Connolly.
Yes.
And it's very helpful. It's a great resource for if you're like if you're really struggling with an image and you're like, how does this even apply to the question I just asked? This doesn't even make sense. That's where I delve in a little bit deeper and look at the finer nuances associated with the card to try to find the answer. If spirit most of the time is pretty darn clear with me where I don't have to do that anymore, but sometimes it happens, especially if I'm doing readings for myself. I'm so highly critical of spirit when I'm talking to spirit about me, right? So, and I know I shouldn't be like that. I know
I've never done that. I have never done that.
No?
I've never been highly critical of myself when I'm reading for myself.
No? Oh, I
never. I'm just waiting for the lightning bolt to strike because it'll hit me. It will miss the computer, right? So.
All right. Well, then you know what I mean. It's like.
Oh, I totally do. Yeah, I totally do.
What are you trying to tell me, spirit? And then it's like, and then I get all weird about it. But so I'm trying to let go of that too. I'm trying to just go, okay, you know what, spirit? This is the message you gave me. I'm not fully understanding it now, but now I'm going to just sit on this and let some time pass. Let me decompress this a little bit.
And then, and see, and I think that's where this is beautiful, because what you're doing is you're applying the idea of meditation into this, because you're not thinking about it. That's the thing about meditation, you know, Buddhist meditation, you don't think about anything. You just sit.
Yeah, I mean, your brain's job is to think. And your brain never stops thinking. And you use mantras. You know, my Zen teacher, the guy who was the head of our school, would say that his favorite mantra was, on the breath in, coca, on the breath out, cola.
Okay.
Cola. So you're still focusing on the breath. So you are thinking. What you're not doing is attaching. You're not attaching to thought.
Yes, very true.
So, but you know, when I am meditating and I'm just focusing on the breath and being mindful and being in the moment, and that's meditation, not trance. Okay. When I'm just doing a specific meditation, all kinds of things tend to come flooding up. I've had memories that I've long forgotten that have just come to the surface. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, there's a shadow that I haven't thought about in a long time. All right, I'm going to put that to the side and focus on the breath for now, but I'll revisit that later. You know?
That's so true. That's so true. Michelle Marie said, yes, our spiritual practices are so key toward calming the mind and connecting to source.
Yes.
So true.
Yeah, that is 100% spot on.
So true. Okay, sip, everybody. So, you're finding that you're not needing tools to help you to be the oracle and to do what you need to do.
I like using the tools because, especially if I'm doing a reading for someone else, because I like the visualization for them.
I do too. I completely understand. Yeah.
You know, but I'm just getting more and more bizarre downloads. You know, I don't know what to do with it sometimes. You know, but I just sit on it. I just sit on it and wait for my understanding to come. Actually, what I do is either call or text Katie and go, what does this mean? And this is her response to me. Oh, Dali.
Do you have Katie on like retainer or something like that?
Oh, my Katie. She's my best friend. So like,
that's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
So tell everybody who's watching about your YouTube channel.
Okay. Well, this particular YouTube channel, the Wolfgirl Oracle, I like to do I do a reading on Sunday, which is our weekly reading. I do a reading on Wednesday, which is our midweek reading, and I do a reading on Friday, which is our weekend spiritual forecast. All three are energy readings where I read the energy of the collective and give a message from spirit based on that energy. You know, something I always ask spirit to tell people something that could help them for this time period.
Of course, yeah.
So it's general. I do general collective readings. I also do live streams. I'm going to be going down to one day. Right now, I am doing them on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but I'm going to go down to just one day because I have a surgery coming up, and I don't think it's going to be something that I can sustain for more than one week, you know. But I do a live stream, and it's a morning live stream. It's at 10 a.m. So I'll have one on Thursday. I won't have one tomorrow because I'm going to a funeral. But Thursday, I will have my 10 a.m. live stream, and we just talk. You know, I'll do readings. If people are interested in that. A lot of times I'll read them their astrology for the day. We'll talk about current events, and we try to keep it light and airy and try to keep it good news oriented. And we also do conversations. We do these. I have conversation cards, so I'll pose questions to the group, and then everybody can answer the questions. We all get to know each other a little bit more.
So, are you familiar with my show Back and Forth with Jamie and Gerald?
Yes.
So sometime in the future, if you wanted to come on and ask Jamie and I questions, that could be fun.
Oh, for sure.
We could make that happen.
Yes,
we could make that happen.
Yes, so. And it's a great way for everybody to get to know each other. You know, and I love the the thing I love about live streams is the participation.
Absolutely.
Yeah. With who comes into my chat. I love that. I love that we're building a community. Yep. I love that there are so many people who are promoting positivity. You're one of them. You know, Jane the Seeker. She's another. Terry at Holding Your Space.
Yep.
Katie, myself, Sonia Rain Lee. All these people. I love all this. Manasa. I love all this positivity and this putting this good intention out into the universe. Absolutely. Manifestation is real. It is so real.
It is real, and it's powerful. I think part of what's important is what we recognize. What we recognize and what we give our attention to, we're going to get more of.
Yes.
That's how the universe works. That's how manifestation works.
Yes.
And I am doing another manifestation in the quantum field with Val from Dragonfly Crystals in June. It's on a Sunday, so it will be very exciting.
Yes, that is such an important thing. I feel like everyone who's in the chat right now, you know, if you're watching this, you've been attracted to the light. You know, you're attracted to the light, and you have to understand the power that you have in manifesting, and we can manifest anything that we want in this world. Yes. And if we do it as a collective, you know, I believe, you know, I'm toying with the idea of doing like an evening live stream where all we do is talk about, you know, talk about what we can do to manifest better things in our lives, you know, because we got to right now with the world being so divided and so there's so much frustration and anger out in the collective, you know, it's palatable. I'm sure you feel it, Gerald.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Like this morning, I was telling Katie this morning, I woke up at 2 a.m. this morning. I knew exactly when Israel was stopping to remember the Holocaust. I felt it. Oh. It was so strong. It hit me like a wall of energy.
Wow.
And it really had a powerful impact on me. You know, I woke up sobbing this morning about it. And that's another thing. I got to learn how to protect myself from stuff like that too, because I'm not sure always what to do with that. You know?
And and here's the thing, it's a process. So, and a lot of people are, you know, they sign them up for that. Me too. And love that thought.
Okay.
Colleen the Cool Crone is hosting a Reveal the Future on Wednesday, this coming Wednesday night. And it's a time where we all go into a meditation, and we're putting energy toward a desired outcome. We did. So it's extremely powerful. I encourage everybody to notice when these are available. You don't have to watch them right then. That's why there's playback.
That's right. That's right. And those things are very, very, very important, like Katie in her live stream this morning was talking about that, about putting this intention out into the world, and it all as a collective coming up with an intention, and what do we want to put into this intention so that we can put it out into the world. And I thought that is an amazing idea, Katie. That is so, so cool. So if she don't do it, I'm going to do it. Or maybe her and I will do it together. I don't know, but it was just such a powerful idea. I love that idea of as a collective working towards building something better, making this world a place that we all can love,
Yeah. And Angela Cardomancy Mesquite is here, and Care Bear, Bard of Cards, says, we shine brighter together.
Yes.
And we do shine brighter together. We also have to understand we have to pay attention to the darkness to fully understand the light. There's this duality and this balance that has to happen. It's what we do with it. It's what we do with it.
Yeah, it's where we put our energy and where we put our thoughts too, I think,
Yeah. And as Deb has said, all our energy joins together to make a greater impact.
Yes.
Yep. Together we thrive.
Yeah.
Yes. Is that the hashtag for the show?
That's got to be it. That's the one. Together we thrive. Yes.
There you go. Coming soon with Katie Moonchild's World and Wolfgirl Oracle-Dali, right?
Yes, we're going to do it, Katie.
Yeah. And, the deeper your sorrow, the higher the joy. So.
Yeah, sorrow isn't something that you need to be afraid of. We feel our feels for a reason, and we need to feel our feels.
Yep. And the more we feel them and the more deeply we do them, the less control they have over us.
Right.
So.
Right.
So the last thing, what brings you joy?
I love to carve. Let me show you something.
Ooh.
I love to carve. Now I just put gold on him, but this is Njord. This is my Njord board because it's on a 2x4. Yes. It's on a 2x4. Okay, but I love to carve. Carving brings me tremendous joy, and it's something I can't do right now because of my shoulder. So
okay. So that's your Njord board.
Yes.
Does that mean when you're not getting information and you need to be slapped up on the head with a 2x4, you actually get knocked up the side of the head with your Njord board?
Yeah, that's my clue by 4.
Your clue by 4. Got it.
I need to get a clue sometimes. Yes.
I love that. I love that. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
But yeah, carving brings me lots of joy. Helping people brings me lots of joy. I definitely have a heart of someone a service heart, and I love helping people, with boundaries.
Yeah.
But
I have the heart of my enemies in a mason jar. So I have a heart. No, I'm kidding. So
if you were wearing it, you'd have a heart on.
I would have a heart on. Yes, you're right. Wow, that just went in a whole.
I waited until the end of the show.
That's so good. I mean, it was okay, and I want credit for all the things that I'm not saying because anyhow. Oh my gosh. And Pamela Batchelor said, "I see your swords back there. I'm a sword fan,
and a lightsaber. There's a lightsaber right there too,
and a gnome."
I have, oh yes.
And a drum.
I have so many drums. My walls are covered with drums and all kinds of
nice
Viking stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Amanda said, very nice work.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I enjoy it. I'm still learning how to carve. But it's really fun. And it's a real mindfulness practice, because you have to pay attention to what you're doing. You go a little too deep, or you don't go deep enough and it doesn't turn out well, or you cut yourself. So you have to be very, very mindful.
Yeah, we don't want this to happen.
No,
this is not the experience you're wanting.
Yeah. I also do flint napping. Here, I'll show you.
Wait a minute. Did you say flint napping, like you take flints and put them to sleep?
Good night.
Good night. It's time for bed.
Yeah, like making arrowheads and spearheads.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, I'm just learning how to do this, so this is very, very rough, but
that's powerful, because you could be setting intention as you're working on it.
Yes, absolutely.
So
yeah. And it won't have anything to do with killing anyone, I promise. These are for what I'd like to do is I'd like to make obsidian blades for ritual purposes.
Yes.
So that's why I'm practicing.
And they are for entertainment purposes only.
Yes.
Linda Kelzer said, very, very interesting conversations. I'm so glad you were here. And I want to thank you for spending so much time with me. This has been delightful.
No, it was great. I really enjoyed the conversation. And it's hard for me to believe that anyone would ever be this interested in me, but man, it felt good. So thank you very much.
Well, you're very welcome. And we are this interested in you, and together we thrive. And that's the upcoming show starring your co-host Katie Moonchild's World and the Wolfgirl Oracle-Dali.
Yes.
So, oh look, and it's
napping. Flint napping. Yes.
Napping. Nice.
Yeah, knapping.
So.
Yeah, I started doing that because I felt like that would be a real connection to a far, far, far away ancestor.
Oh, that's great.
I'm trying to draw forth some ancestors that are more than like 4 or 5 generations behind. I'm looking for origins. I had a vision where I was looking out across a field, and I saw all these people, recently departed ancestors, long ago departed ancestors, people I didn't know. And it was like the further back that group of people went, was like further back in time. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't see their faces, but I knew that I belonged to them.
Yeah.
So I'm looking to try to connect with some of those people.
Yes. And there's been a lot of appreciation for the conversation that we've been having.
Wow.
This is so wonderful. And I do thank everybody for being here. If you are, Dali is my jam. Thanks for introducing us, Gerald. You're welcome. That's the Wolfgirl Oracle-Dali.
Yes.
Pamela just subscribed to you. So
thank you so much.
I do thank you, everybody, for joining us. It's wonderful to get to know you and be in the same space with you, Dali.
Oh, thanks. You too.
Do you do private readings for people?
I can.
Okay.
I've done them. I've never done it for anyone on YouTube per se, but I've done them for people at work.
Okay. So if people wanted to contact you, they go to your channel, and then you can actually go to view the email address. So
yes, my email address is there.
Yes. So so this is an opportunity for you to connect with Dali.
Yeah.
And I thank everybody for watching. You are all great. So thank you for being here. So any last thoughts before we head out?
I'd like everyone to put out really good intention, love, and energy for my friend Fatima, whose husband is recovering from prostate cancer surgery.
Mm-hmm.
And she's been through a lot of stress. So that's what the candle there is for. So Beautiful. If you guys think about it today, if you can just like call out to the universe and say thank you for them catching the cancer before it was too much, I'd really appreciate that. And just think, keep Fatima in your in your thoughts and prayers as she heals too from
Yes. Oh,
Dolly.
yes. Yeah.
So
Because like we talked about, is everybody doing the thing helps everybody.
yes.
So I think
However you do it, however, it doesn't matter to me. But yeah, even just putting energy out there is great. So
well, and I think it's one of those things is that when we do what we can do in the most authentic way for us, everyone benefits.
yes, I agree with that.
So
I do. That all reverberates out from us, like throwing a rock into a pond. Those
yep,
waves touch
you
everything.
got it. It impacts the grid, and
Yes.
that healing and that energy is available to everybody. Surround our environments with the grids. So
Yes.
and so all right. Yep, the ripples. Yep. So everybody, thank you for joining. And Dolly, I'll see you on the other side of the outro.
Okay.
Bye.